Right, what is going on, guys? In this video I'm going to be reviewing the Toshiba Camileo X150. Now this is a very well priced full high definition camcorder from Toshiba. It's even got a touchscreen, 10 times optical zoom and a decent low light sensor. The main selling point of this camera is just how easy it is to use. There's no faffing around, it is quick to turn on, it is quick to shoot, and it doesn't take up that much space with SD cards. With that said, I think this is the perfect family camcorder. But I know that you guys really want to see what this camera can do, so what I'm going to do is show you some kind of family type raw footage, but also what I would do with the camera in terms of grading and post-processing. Okay, so this is what it looks like straight raw out of the camera, and I think it is absolutely perfect for families. You don't need to post-process it, it's already got lots of contrast, lots of saturation, and it is sharp. You can't actually change the amount of contrast and saturation and so on inside the camera, that is baked in, but it's pretty accurate. You wouldn't really need to change it unless you were doing filmmaking, but then you wouldn't with this camera anyway, so that's fine. So now we're just going to look at the dynamic range of this camera. It's not that bad, especially for family use, it's perfectly acceptable. Compared to my DSLR, it's not that far off, and that is really great for this situation. Now unfortunately this camera does struggle a bit in the indoor lighting. When it gets a bit darker it does get grainier, which is a shame, but then that's a problem for most cameras. So in this test we're going to compare it to my Nikon D3100 DSLR and my Nokia Lumia 920 phone. Now I'll set the camera on the tripod and I've got one light here and my window over there. It's quite dark still, but you get an idea of the microphone quality and how good the quality is for like portrait situations. And this is it compared to a DSLR, the Nikon D3200 and a Carl Zeiss 50mm 1.8 lens. And just to mix some things up a bit, we've got a Nokia Lumia 920 with a 24mm, I think, Carl Zeiss lens equivalent, and is recording in full HD using the microphones as well. The focusing on this camera is completely automatic and you cannot override it. It is a really pretty nice job outside. It's very smooth outside, but when you get it inside, as you'd expect, it's very hard to lock onto a subject, and you see that on a lot of my videos I'm going to show you. Okay, so I showed you some really nice family type raw videos from this camera, where it works very well. But now I'm going to show you what I would use the camera for. So I'm going to be using some product shots with lighting. I'm going to be doing a lot of post-processing. I'm actually a very good color grader, so I'll be trying to utilize this with this camera, seeing how much the files can take, how robust they are, and just enjoy a nice bit of cinematic video. Now this camera overall fits really well on the hand. It's a great companion and it doesn't feel at all awkward when using it. It's very well designed and I love that. Now the interface on the camera, the menus and everything, is controlled via touchscreen. It's not the best of touchscreens, but if you get used to how to use it, there's absolutely no problem with it and it's quite fun to use. The battery also worked rather well. The menus were also really nice. They were easy to look at and easy to understand. You wouldn't need to dive into them too many times to use the camera properly. Now before I finish up this video, I'm going to show you this camera's party trick. It can do 120 frames per second slow motion, which is fantastic, but you do lose loads of resolution and it's much worse quality, but I'm still going to show you what I managed to get with this camera. So to conclude, this camera is a very user-friendly, high-quality camcorder that you can use with all of the family. Don't be put off with all the comparisons I've done with my phone and my DSLR. They are actually very different types of cameras, and if you gave one of them to your family, chances are it'll be very hard to use. So thank you so much for watching. That was Jason for the TheXtremesoundz Audio and Vision YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next one.